What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Jayden Daniels of the Commanders, QB, just looks incredible. It looks amazing. He's only played 5 games, so we are taking a very small sample size. But in those 5 games, he's looked like every single bit of a franchise quarterback and a superstar one at that. I don't know how great he can be, but if this is any inkling of what he's going to be, it's going to be amazing. I want to know what you would grade so far how he started his rookie season. I would give this a 10 out of 10 all day long. The Commanders are 4-1, leading the NFC East over the Cowboys, over the Eagles, and over the Giants. Now, if you told anybody, even Commanders fans for the most part, that, hey, you're going to be 4-1 and leading the division after 5 games, most people would have called you insane, myself included. But because of Jayden Daniels, because largely the rest of the roster is not that much different from last year, basically taking a lot of what they had last year, where they ended up picking number 2, they just look way better. Obviously, new coaching probably has some factor into that too. But Jayden is just, he's dominating in every facet. He's handling the blitz. He's hitting every level of the field. He's spreading the ball around the field. His passing chart is literally all over the field. It's not like he's only throwing to one side or doesn't throw the deep ball or only throws Hail Marys. It's not what he does. He slices and dices you the whole way down the field. There was a point, I think, in the season where they had more scoring drives than punts. Or they hadn't punted in like 18 drives. It was like some crazy number where it just really put the world on notice with how good Jayden is looking and the situation, how good he's making it look. Because, like I said, largely, this is the same situation that other QBs had last year, and he's coming in and thriving. I think Brian Robinson's development at the running back spot definitely helps. One of the best things you can give a young QB is a good running game, but I will say that running game is very good in large part due to Jayden Daniels because he is a freak on his feet. It's hard to bring him down. It's hard to catch him. He's lightning quick. The RPOs, the QB draws, like when he extends plays, those things all just kill a defense. And if you want to look at it and look what happened to the Cardinals, look what happened to the Bengals, look what happened to the Browns. They all got annihilated. And Jayden looked like a star to where he's like the ranks that he has their offense is crazy because you would have never predicted this in a million years to see him come in and do this. They're number 1 in points per game. They're, number 1 in third down conversion percentage. So they're staying on the field. They're not 3 and out and punting and putting the defense because it is a defense that is in the rebuild. So that makes sense that it's not good. They're number 1 in completion percentage. They're number 2 in yards per pass. They are number 2 in rush yards per game. Like I said, in large part to Brian Robinson Jr., but also with Jayden being a threat on his feet. And they're number 3 in QBR. So you have this electrifying quarterback that is lighting up the field to where he's giving the ball is going to everybody. It's going to Brian Robinson. It's going to Terry McLaurin. We're getting De'Ami Brown bombs for touchdowns. There's a lot of good things. Like Terry McLaurin is in large part looking at a relatively similar season to what he's played with throughout his career, but it just doesn't seem like a freaking struggle for him to have any sort of success because he's on pace for about 1,000 to 1,100 yards, but he's looking at probably 6 or 7 TDs or more. And you see it in the big moments. Jayden trusts him, which is good. That connection looks good because Terry's not that old. Like I think he's only in like year 6 or something like that. He's about to this is really about his prime. And Jayden's just starting out. So that connection looks strong. I like what I'm seeing out of him, especially when you can look at how bad other defenses are looking against them to where they're on a 4-game win streak and they're thrashing them. Like he put up 40, I think it was 42 or something like that on the Bengals. Or no, I think it was 42 on the Cardinals, and I think it was like 38 or something like that on the Bengals, and then you put up like 34 or whatever it was on the Browns. Browns have a good defense overall, and they got destroyed. And it's, like I said, this is largely the same team as it was last year, except for it's got a different quarterback and different coaching. And that obviously is going to make a big difference. But like I said, they're picking number 2. They pick up Jayden, and now they're 4-1, leading their division when everybody would have said Eagles or Cowboys. And they have good wins over the Bengals. That's a good win. I think even at this rate, the Cardinals is a good win because, I mean, the Cardinals just beat the Niners. And they've largely been in every game except for that one where they played the Commanders. And obviously the Browns had high hopes going into the season, but Deshaun Watson is terrible. And I think you're seeing that game particularly. You saw polar opposites from the quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson not really getting any love from the team, plays terribly. Jayden Daniels is like a savior for the Commanders, and he's playing amazing. And the crazy thing is that I think even teams like fans of teams in the division, like the Eagles and the Cowboys and the Giants, they're not like they don't hate on it. I don't feel like with like as much as like other divisions would hate on a young QB coming in and putting on a show. It seems like they're kind of like, damn, the Commanders finally got a good quarterback. Like that's kind of cool. Like it's different. Like we haven't seen it. We got one good year out of RG3, a couple decent years out of Kirk Cousins, and it's been largely garbage since then. And it was pretty garbage before then. So for them to really get their guy at this point where he's electric. He doesn't take big hits for his, running about 10 times a game. Plays smart. I think those are the things that will, make his longevity continue further on as he develops as a passer, reading NFL defenses, whatnot. But when you never punt the ball and just constantly put up points, you're going to look really good by a lot of metrics. I think through 5 games, he's definitely the offensive rookie of the year, and I do think Caleb is figuring it out and is playing really well the last few games. Marvin Harrison Jr. outside of the week 1 game, and I guess week 5 was not a good game either, but he's been good. He's been, I would say, almost as expected, but I expect him to be better. Jayden was the one where I really thought it was Caleb, it was Marv, and it was Jayden. Those were going to be the 3 guys for offensive rookie of the year, and that's an easy answer because what is it? It's the 3 of the top 4 picks, and the only other one that's not in there is not playing right now. Drake May is starting Sunday, so that will change. But I just think the Commanders finally got their guy. I think their fans can kind of rejoice a little bit. New coaching staff. Brian Robinson looks amazing. Terry McLaurin's looking really solid. All the weapons are getting utilized. And they're keeping their defense off the field and putting up hella points. You do that, they could go 5 and what would that be, like 5 and 7 or something over the next several games or whatever it is, and this would be an amazing season. It already really is for what we've seen through 5 games. So I think you have to be thrilled. I do want to know what you would grade Jayden Daniels, and overall, what are your thoughts on his games? Because this is amazing stuff. We're seeing a rookie QB come in yet again and light up the NFL. CJ Stroud did it last year, and I wonder if Jayden can get to that level because CJ was putting up numbers out there and winning games, which Jayden is doing that same thing. But I think, ironically, that's actually back-to-back years where the number 2 picks are looking like absolute studs. And I think that's cool. I'm a big CJ guy, and if Jayden continues to play this way, he will grow on me, and I will end up being a Jayden guy. That's just how this is going to go. But I'm hyped up for them because when you get a guy that looks the part, acts the part, plays the part, that is what you need out of your quarterback. And it just looks like he's got great command of the Commanders and leading their franchise. Who knows how good this could get. This could be one of those things where we're watching the very beginning of a superstar career, and I think it's important to pay attention to that because that makes it all the more enjoyable. But anyway, let me know, what would you rate his rookie season through 5 games out of 10? I've got a 10 out of 10. I think you can't really go any lower than like a 9.5, and that would be if you're somewhat downgrading the week 1 game, but ultimately I think he was still pretty good in that game. They just missed a ton of kick a ton of field goals, missed a bunch of field goals. It's something. I forget what it was, but ultimately he's in the 4-game win streak. Has been awesome. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you like this kind of content. Please like the video. Really, really appreciate it. But we got to give Jayden Daniels some shine because he plays in Washington. They're not going to get a ton of credit, a ton of love, but they're playing like one of the best teams in football right now, largely because their offense is absolutely amazing, and it starts with their quarterback.